Duncan here from Kartoffelherz. I just wanted to talk about the production of our first film with the title Five Cents. A few years ago I wrote this one-line synopsis about a guy sitting in front of his screen and watching himself via his own CCTV eating some kind of cereal in Google Docs, and never did anything with it until I showed it to a friend who encouraged me to elaborate it. So I did, and I wrote about one page of pseudo-philosophical nihilistic stuff, and that very friend told me how contradicting it was, so I scrapped it, but I was still convinced that the original idea had value. So a couple of years later, and I met with Leone, who is actually my former neighbor, and we talked about lots of stuff, and then showed us each other our other previous films we made in our childhood. And I proposed, hey, let's make films together. And I told him about my idea. So we met again on the next day to start filming. In the meantime, I began to write the actual screenplay and told my friend simply about our film project, and he proposed two crucial things for it. The first one was that the protagonist had to pay for his entertainment via a coin slot like a vending machine, and that the entertainment footage should be the only non-monochromatic part of the film. So I began with the preparations, with searching a CRT TV. That was a thing we agreed on. I found an old computer CRT monitor. I think I bought it in a bundle with a low-end computer from my old school like 10 years ago. Then I 3D printed a little box around 3 by 5 by 7 centimeters with a little rift for the coin slot and hot glued it onto the CRT. My first idea was to connect the CRT to my computer and display a green image full screen, but the refreshment rate and the change of light was too much for my camcorder to handle, so I organized some green paper and also hot glued it onto the screen. While I was waiting for Leone, it started to rain, so I took the opportunity to get the rain shirts. When he arrived, we removed all the furniture in my bedroom to get the plain white corner and went to the storage room of my grandmother to get a small fridge. There we encountered a small heart-shaped potato that got a cameo in the film. We liked it so much, so we named our new YouTube channel after it. As the next step, we prepared the bowl and shot the part where the protagonist got his spoon. We used oatmeal and milk for the cereal. I wrote in the script that the film should start with the protagonist waking up, but we thought that it was too basic, so we decided that he should read a book instead. We searched my house for some fitting candidates, maybe something about love or something about death. But then I remembered that I got this pretty pointless book called The Book of Answers, where you can ask a book a yes or no type question and open it on a random page to get a fortune cookie-like answer. So we looked for one we like and found this one sounding like an esoteric advice about just being positive and everything will be better. The scene where the protagonist stands on a balcony was actually filmed upside down. To get this shot I had to stand right next to him because there wasn't enough space. The closing fridge door scene turned out well for an opportunity to cut the music in the beginning and having a little comedic part downward. The music in the beginning is Air on a G-string from Bach. I chose this track because it's a meme and it's so overused, and I thought it's the right mix of being funny and setting up the mood for the film. Next one is the eating scene. It was a small problem since we're only two guys, one acting and one cameraman, but we have two cams in the scene. I don't own a tripod, so I tied my camcorder to my chair and climbed onto my cupboard to film the CCTV footage. By the way, I used footage of potato harvesting since the guy in the CCTV also had to watch something. The track we used here is a Bobby Caldwell What You Don't Do for Love instrumental, which we pitched down, compressed, removed the bass and added a phaser effect in the beginning. We used another potato heart shot for the credits and repeat the fridge door gag because we couldn't think of any better. At least the film ends with a bang. Overall, the production lasted 9 hours of preparing, filming, editing and rendering. We got around 11 minutes of raw footage. For the editing I used Vegas Pro 15. The only interesting part here is that I used the color correction secondary effect for the chroma keying. I definitively learned a lot of things while making this film and I hope that I improve in future. Farewell.